Today I'd like to look at chord voicings and share some ideas with you from the work of Allan Holdsworth and see how we can expand our own chord vocabulary and perhaps use some of his techniques to write our own chord etudes or chord works, compositions on the guitar. So this composition that we're going to look at the first phrase of a tune called Looking Glass, which was off Allan Holdsworth's album at Tavakron. So let me play the first phrase for you. We'll do it slowly first. Okay, and again, just to isolate everything. Okay, now if we look at the first three chords, the first thing that we notice is all of those tones. This is a D, an A, and a G, and an E on top. So on top we have the first two strings, G and E, and we have D and A on the lower two. So the chords are exclusively on the first and second strings and the fifth and sixth strings. And this resolves into a C, G, F sharp, and D from low to high. C, G, and then F sharp and D. And this chord here, this E, B, A, and F sharp is just a repetition of this one. Okay? I want to look at this one in particular, the C chord. To me, it sounds like it's major. It sort of has a Lydian, I guess we could say a Lydian sound because it has the F sharp tone in it. So it sounds like a C major type of chord. Now, what I'd like to do is find other chords in that string group, the first, second, fifth, and sixth string exclusively, that sound like C major, that aren't that voicing, okay? So perhaps we could let go of the D. Well, that's a nice chord, okay? Perhaps let go of the G as well. We could have C, E, F sharp, and B. And embellish with the upper D. How about C, G, B, and E? And then maybe take that down to a D, the top voice. And that's just starting with the root and the bass. So far, you notice we can be melodic with these. And that's the fun of this, is you can actually start writing chord work and compositions using melody, using the top line melody. Now I'm going to start on E. Okay, so I'll start on the first inversion, the E in the bass. How about E, B, C, G? And then I can exchange these two voices, so I can bring B up to C and then C down to B. So E, C, B, G. That's pretty. E, G, C, and D maybe. And moving right along, we can start on the G. How about G, C, D, F sharp? Maybe an E in there too. So G, C, E, and B. F sharp and a D. That's nice, especially lower. Oh, wow, that sounds nice and thick. I like that one. And then perhaps we can start on the B. We can start on the seventh. So how about B, C, D, and G? Or B, E, G, and C. Easy to finger, that one. That sounds nice, and I'm just bringing the voices up. What's nice about these chords is you can sort of move the voices around. I can just take the voicings we just worked on C, and just sort of improvise around the different voices, and we can see that we can be very melodic with those. Now, the next thing I want to do is, besides staying in C, is encourage you to obviously move those things around. Even if you just took his first chords in the Holdsworth tune, even if you went maybe resolve in a different place. So instead of two notes, going down in a whole step and then another whole step, maybe do a semitone, maybe. And then just move the inner voice a little. That's nice. I just took those voicings. Wow, a lot of music out of 3 chords. Wow, we just transposed those 3, made a different resolution point, and then used our pinky to get different melody tones on the adjacent string. It's great. Very basic and a great way to get mileage out of these things. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is this section of the tune. Okay, and that uses 2 separate techniques, which we'll discuss sort of separately. Okay, the first one's called planing. And planing just means you take one particular voicing or shape and you move it up and down. Okay? And the other one is called a pedal tone. And you can see that he keeps the same note. We call this a pedal point. So it has 2 techniques. He keeps this same D flat going while he just moves this shape up. What we're going to do now is I'm going to transfer those notes from the 1st, 2nd, and 4th and 5th strings that he does. I'm going to take them onto our 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 6th. So I'm just going to take that right across those 2 notes, take them right across to here. Oh, what a thick, that's like a G flat major 7th voicing. Well, it's gorgeous. B flat, F, G flat, and D flat. I'm going to move that up by semitone, keeping the D flat in the pinky. Well, not always the pinky. I'll have to refinger it. Okay, so here, watch this. I'm going to take this. Get an extra one. So this is a G flat major 7 over B flat. G major 7 with a sharp 11, right? F sharp, B, F sharp, G, and C sharp. C, G, A flat, and D flat. Get D flat major 7, sharp 11. I move it up again. How about an A major 7? I get a C sharp, and a G, and an A, and another C sharp. Unusual chord here. B flat major 7, sharp 9. I've got an A, a D, in the bass, and I've got a B flat on the top. Move it up one more, and it's a B flat major 9. And then I just move it down. And I resolve to an F major 7 with a sharp 5 over A. So it's an A, E, F sharp, C sharp. Simply just keeping the same. Sort of his rhythm there. Okay. And one more thing I'd like to talk about is the pedal tone, but maybe changing keys. Okay. Watch this. I'm going to keep a D on the top. We'll change it up a little bit. We'll use only the voicings that we did earlier when we found all those C major voicings. Only I'm moving them. So we'll keep a D on the top. How about a B flat major 7? B flat, F, A, and D. And then we'll go ascending. How about a G major 7 with a B in the bass? So I've got F sharp, B, F sharp, G, and D. Okay. Now how about an A flat major 7 with a sharp 11 with a D on top? So I've got an E flat, an A flat, a B flat, and a D, keeping the D on the top. Get that C in there. And how about a C major 7 over E? E, G, C, D. And how about that really easy to finger D major 7, C sharp, F sharp, A, and D, and then another easy E flat major 7. So that sounds nice, and it just keeps the D on top. And you notice that enabled me to move the inner voices around and get inner melodies, which is a lot of fun, and that's what's great about these voicings too. So I hope this has been useful for you. I hope it's something that you can use in your own music and to further analyze Allan Holdsworth music as well. But thank you again for spending this time with me. I look forward to seeing you again soon, and take care. Good luck with your music.